Morning children, welcome back to e-learning classes of PNMRC High School. Hope you all are safe. So let's continue our chapter number 2, A Gift of Chapels. So children, in the last video you all saw that Mridu went to her aunt's house. Ravi and Meena took her to the backyard where a small kitten was sitting in torn football. And Ravi explained how the cat, whose name is Mahindran, is very hybrid and descendant of Rishi cat according to him. At the same time, a weird sound of screeching was heard by them. It was Lally playing her violin while taking her music class. So now let's see what happens next. In the part 2, you'll see children, Mridu crept up to the window. Lally was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring. And you can see that Lally is taking her music class, holding her violin and bowstring. Bowstring is a part of an instrument violin. A person can play violin by moving it up and down. Her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was a bony figure of the music master. He had a mostly bald head with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears. Bald means no hair on head and fringe means at the border. Black hair falling around his ears and an old-fashioned tuft. Tuft means tying hair together. Gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck means he is wearing a golden chain, and a diamond ring glittered on his hand as he glided up and down the stem of the violin. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold-bordered waisty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. Waisty is dhoti. And here you can see he is tapping his foot on the ground to count the time. He played a few notes. Lally stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. Stumbled means to follow. Means Lally is trying to follow her master. What a difference! The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails of whizzing along, as Ravi said. Means master is playing a lovely music. Now you can see that children are peeping inside the room through the window. Mridu stared at that huge, beringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin stem, making lovely music. Quack! There was Lally derailing again. When Lally is trying to play the violin, it makes weird sound. Amma! Came a wail from the gate. Amma! Oh! What happened, children? On the gate there is a beggar and he is calling, Amma! Oh Amma! Ravi, send that beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda, where she was chatting with Tapi. He has been coming here every day for the past week, and it's time he found another house to beg from, Pati explained to Tapi. Children, you can see there is a beggar on the gate, and mother is asking Ravi to send him back because he is coming every day for the past week. Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out. The beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the arms to appear. When Ravi went to the garden, he saw that the beggar is already in the garden and he is trying to take a short sleep, and he is waiting for alms. Alms means what we give to beggar. Go away, said Ravi sternly. My Pati says it's time you found another house to beg from. The beggar opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each of the children one by one. The ladies of this house, he said, at last in a voice choked with feeling, are very kind souls. I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week. Now here children, beggar said that I managed to stay alive. What the alms he was getting from this house means Rukmani was giving him every day. But today Rukmani is fed up and she said, turn that man away. I cannot believe that they would turn me away. He raised his voice. Amma, Amma, oh, said his wail might be, but it certainly wasn't feeble. It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in his withered belly and came booming out of his mouth with its few remaining teeth stained brown with beetle chewing. Now, children, when Becker is asked to leave, he again started calling Amma, oh Amma. Ravi, tell him there's nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukmani, and he's not to come again. Tell him that. She sounded fed up. Ravi did not have to repeat it all to the beggar. What his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. There under the neem tree, the beggar sat up and sighed. I'll go, he said wearily. Now Sichuan beggar is ready to leave, but he said, only let me have a rest under this tree. The sun is so hot, the tar has melted on the road. My feet are already blistered. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. And you can see the meaning of the blisters, bubbles on the skin from burns or rubbing. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals, Mridu whispered to Meena Ravi. Have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? After having a look on his feet, they come to know that he has no money to buy chappals. I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I would have given them to him. And his feet were larger than Mridu's and Meena's. Now here you can see that Ravi, Meena and Mridu want to give their chappals to him, but their chappals are too small for him to fit. He needs something on his feet, Meena said, her big eyes feeling it's not fair. Said Ravi, I'm thinking about it, blubbering. It's not fair, isn't going to help. In 2 minutes he'll be frying his feet on that road. What he needs is a pair of chappals. So where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi, she whispered to him, whose are those? He turned and glanced at the shabby looking means dirty looking, but sturdy old slippers. Beamed and nodded. Nodded means to say yes by moving head. These are just the right size, he said, picking them up. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. Now children, what Ravi and Meena and they will do? They will give these chappals to the beggar. Here, said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man. Wear these and don't come back. The beggar stared at the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder, pushed his feet into them and left, muttering a blessing to the children. In a minute, he had vanished around the corner of the street. What happened this Ravi, no? He gave these chappals to the beggar. Beggar is very happy to see these chappals. He wore them and he muttered some blessings to the children and he left and he was vanished, means now he is disappeared to the corner of the street. They can't see him now. The music master came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree playing marbles. Then he searched for his chappals in the veranda where he had put them. Okay, now we come to know whose chappals were those. They belonged to music master. As his class is over, he came out and what is he searching for? He's searching for his chappals and he could not find them anywhere. Lalli, he called after a few moments. She hurried up to him. Have you seen my chappals, my dear? I remember having kept them here. Now what happened? He is calling Lalli and asking her, where are my chappals? I kept them here only. Ravi, Mridu and Meena silently watched Lalli and the music master search every corner of the veranda. Scurried around looking over the railing and crouching near the flower pots to look between them. Brand new they were. I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them. He went on saying, they cost a whole month's fees. Do you know? Soon Lalli went in to tell her mother. Rukmani appeared looking harassed, with Pati following her. Where could they be? It's really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. So many vendors come to the door, worried Pati. Rukmani caught sight of Ravi, Mridu and Meena sitting under the tree. Have you children? She began, and then seeing they were curiously quiet, went on more slowly. Seen anyone lurking around the veranda? Now, children, Rukmani knows that something is wrong here. A sharp V shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Another straight, tighter one appeared in the place of her usually soft, pleasant mouth. Rukmani was angry, thought Mridu, and a shiver. She wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with sores on his feet, she tried to tell herself. Taking a deep breath, she cried, Rukmani, there was a beggar here. Poor thing, he had such boils on his feet. Now what happened, children? Mridu started explaining Rukmani that there was a beggar and he had blisters on his feet. So we keep the explanation till here, children. I'll explain the rest of the lesson in the next video. Till then, stay safe and have a nice day. Thank you.